Sarah, you've talked about a student sharing their secret with you. Tell me a little bit about the role that shame can play in perpetuating this issue.
Yeah, it's a big issue. Many of these students come to college in search of a better life. Some of them come from poverty, some of them come from a middle class struggle to just kind of not fall downward, something a lot of families can identify with right now. And when this challenge happens for them in college, they're embarrassed. This isn't who they thought they'd be in college. The student who, for example, might be shoplifting in order to make ends meet, or the student who might have to get an extra swipe from her friend in the dining hall so that she can have something. This is stigmatizing for them. It makes them feel ashamed and it makes them hide. And one of the things that's so important for everyone to know is that we all have a role to play here. Because if we can help them know that they're not alone, that in fact there were so many students affected, then they begin to understand that they did not cause this problem individually. This isn't the small problem of a number of individuals making bad decisions. These numbers can only be this large when there's a systemic failure.
Yeah, and what was interesting for us as well, when we were trying to book the documentary, it was really hard, right? You're asking students who are already embarrassed that they're at a food pantry, will you take part in talking about every facet of your life very openly? It was really, really hard to get them to talk about not just their hunger, but their entire lives and their circumstances. And then in many cases, the students didn't want to tell their parents, especially if their parents also were struggling. The students felt that they were adding to the burden of their parents if they said, listen, I'm hungry. So they would talk about being incredibly isolated. It wasn't anything you could share with anybody because they felt I'm only going to add to the burden of my struggling mom or my struggling parents if I tell them I'm hungry. So why would I possibly tell them?